Hi. For reference, I am a 24-year-old F. Okay, I am going to start out by apologizing for not adding any photos, tangible proof, or deep history lessons here. I would appreciate if you all could not accuse me of lying or being mentally ill. This is 100% true. You must take me at my word because this is still an ongoing experience in me, and I am physically affected every day by ongoing nausea, especially when I look at the photos or talk about the history of this haunted place. I am trying my best to avoid making matters worse. I feel grueling resistance as I am typing this, and am fighting the nausea right at this moment, so I hope you can understand. Last Sunday was Father's Day. I was with my boyfriend, my mom and my dad, sitting at the dinner table, eating, when the topic of ghost hunting came up. My boyfriend, let's call him B, and I love this type of thing. Neither of us are particularly religious. We are a couple of open-minded, curious agnostics, so the idea that spirits could exist and possibly show themselves to us excites us very much. We had heard about this Goatman's Bridge, officially called Old Alton Bridge, from a couple sources, friends, Ghost Adventures TV show, and other articles online. We also live relatively close to the location. Please, look up the history yourself. Just Google Goatman's Bridge, Denton, history. I will tell you it is KKK-related gruesome violence, leading to the death of a successful African American that lived nearby. Every time I read about it now, I feel like I am going to puke. So anyways, we decided to go. My dad has never encountered a spirit before, and this place seemed to be a very popular spot for ghost hunting. We went at about 10 p.m., a prime time to explore the bridge and hike the trails with little interruption. The bridge at first was empty and seemed a bit spooky, but we didn't see anything out of the ordinary there. We then hiked a couple different trails nearby. The first one was completely fine, no activity. The second trail, we saw a pair of glowing eyes in the distance when I shone my flashlight in that direction. We all think it was a deer though. Third trail. We came up to this very scary-looking, graffiti-covered structure. It had words like, "We all die." It had 2 pentagrams within the letters of that. There were stars across the top of it with fake blood dripping from every other one, and it also had a number of symbols and words that none of us, or Google Lens, could decipher. Although, we all did see my nickname written, slightly hidden, within another acronym. Later, B had dug some more online and found out that the structure is actually an altar that had been used for animal sacrifices, and is still being used in rituals by a modern group called the Dark KKK. All in all, the most exciting part about going to the place itself was me tripping over a root and bruising both my knees. The only paranormal activity that the 3 of us had witnessed was my dad expressing he felt an unexplainable quick tap on his back a few yards from the altar. So we go back to the bridge, and to our surprise about 4 or 5 men, white, early 20s, were sitting on the spider-infested bridge, smoking cigarettes and remaining unusually silent. I honestly don't know why anyone would hang out there at midnight and not have flashlights or anything, but hey, maybe they're just kind of weird, who knows. I didn't have a very good feeling about them though. As soon as I got in the car, I felt like I was going to puke. I was not sick with any illness. I am not sick now either. At first I believed it was, and is a visceral reaction to the haunted place. Now, I know it is, something more. When we got home, I was in immense pain, unspeakable, excruciating nausea. I went to go wash my hands in the bathroom. When I looked at my reflection, I didn't recognize myself. I was looking into someone else's eyes. I met the gaze of someone violent. Someone with immense hate. It was not my reflection. Rather, someone or something was using my body to see through me. I know it sounds crazy, but it just gets crazier. I apologize on some of these upcoming details. I was not in control of my body or mind at this time. My memory of this part is almost dreamlike. B could see that something had changed in me. He told me to lie down because the nausea was making me lightheaded and very dizzy. I remember B asking me a series of questions. I don't remember most, but I do remember saying that I am not Jen. I remember how my hate-filled gaze felt resting on B's eyes. I remember my dog not coming over to me like she usually does. I remember telling B that I was unsure of whether he should stay or not, because I was afraid I would hurt him, physically. I felt extremely violent. To the point that I was digging my nails into my hands as hard as I could, but could feel no pain. I remember wanting to break his hand when I was holding it. I remember fixating on a wall filled with very old photos of my ancestors. And having a feeling that whatever is in me is trying to learn how to become me. I still think that last feeling I mentioned is lingering in me even today. The next day, I woke up and couldn't shake the thought that I had this new body. I tried doing things I don't normally do. I was testing my pleasures, my body, its limits. I think whatever took over my body is mostly gone. It is a possibility that I may be in fact haunting my own psyche since that night as a reaction to try to cope. But both B and I know that something took hold of me that night. And I am paying for that every day now. So as you know, B did more digging on Google after this whole thing, and he actually found out that women typically have had stronger paranormal experiences or reactions at Goatman's Bridge and could be related to this evil spirit named Steve. I do not wish to say any more about that, so please feel free to look it up. I had an experience at Old Arlington Bridge 20 years ago. We saw a blue light cross the bridge as if someone was swinging a lantern. No one was there. We ran to the car took a few tries to start. Speeding down the road alongside us was the blue orb going the same speed as the car. You could see it was still in the woods. During this time, the electronics of the car all malfunctioned, windows couldn't roll, radio was barely working. Then as we passed the intersection to the other haunted bridge, my friend saw a girl standing there, but she didn't have any legs and was just hovering. That night was truly a very haunted experience of our life.